In this video, we are going to see what linear interpolation is. Now, in majority of the cases, when you're doing some amount of EDA or when you've got the data newly and you're exploring the different columns that are there, the different values that are there, and you want to understand what are the different patterns that are present in the data, you will come across many cases or instances where you will be seeing discontinuity in the data. Now, there are many ways in which you can handle this discontinuity in the data, but more often times than not, you would use something called linear interpolation. It is a type of imputation that we can use while treating the data set for further processes, say model building, or to look at the specific trends that are available in the data, or you would want to create synthetic values to handle different cases that you might observe in the future. So these are all the certain scenarios that you will be encountering when you're preparing the data. Now, as we spoke about earlier, linear interpolation is one of the effective ways in which you will be able to fill in the gaps that are present in the data set. Now, of course, you'll having a numeric data set is a prerequisite for this use case to use this method, and from there on, you will be able to fill in the gaps, like I said before, and move ahead with whatever processes are necessary. So let's take a look at the formula that is used for linear interpolation. Now you have y1, x1, y2, y1, x2, and x1. Now let's take an example of a discontinuous data set, like you can see in the table here, and then try to infer the values that are present in the data set and to the formula that we have here. Now, if you see the table, there's 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. The missing value here is 2, 4, 6, 7. 8 and 9 are having values, and 1, 3, 5 are having values. Finally, what our data frame will look like is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as a sequence of numbers, and these are the gaps in Y that we'll have to fill out. Now, if you can see the formula here, y1 will correspond, say we are considering the value for 10 and 20, and we'll have to interpolate the number for 2. 10 will be our y1, 20 will be our y2, x will be 2, in this case the value that we are going to calculate y for, x1 will be our 1, 3 will be our x2. Now these are nothing but the ranges that we have as upper bound and lower bound between which we'll have to fit in all these numbers. So once we do it and once we substitute the values, we'll be able to get the value 15 for 2 as y. Now we have a simple code that we can use to identify the values for the missing numbers, so that we'll be able to automate this or scale it up to identify the missing values for all the numbers at one go. Now I have created this code with all the values that are there in this table, so that it would be easier for us to generate the numbers. I'll just go ahead and execute the code, and we'll be going over the code also once we look at the results. So 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now as you can see, the value for 2 will be 15, 4 will be 25, 6 will be 33, 7 will be 36.6. Now of course, everything is between the higher lower bound and the upper bound, which is 30 and 40, 10 and 20, 20 and 30, so on and so forth. Now coming to the code, you can see the numbers are same as what is here: 1, 3, 5, 9, 5, 8, 9, 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now what I am doing here is I am creating a list of numbers that are not present in this list that is there in our table. So it will be the numbers. Just to print out these numbers, let's look at x. X will be the missing values basically in our data set 2, 4, 6, 7. Now for every value that is there in X, we are going to identify the interpolated value, which is readily available from the NumPy package of pandas. All you have to do is call NumPy and access the interp function from this package. And you'll have to feed in the value that you're going to interpolate the number for, the X points, which are the x in our table, the y points which are the y in our table, and then you will be able to get the values of y. Now I have put it inside a data frame which is going to concat the values that we have in x and the values that are there, the values that are there in x points, which are the values that are available in the table, and the values in x for which we are going to interpolate. Similarly for y, the values that are already present and the interpolated values. Now I'm going to sort it by x so that we'll be able to see a clean sequence of numbers in ascending order. Then I'm just reindexing the numbers data frame. So this is the final output that we are going to see once we have applied all the processes, and this can be further used for additional analysis or the subsequent analysis that is going to be done with the dataset. Thanks for watching the video.